The body credit score, your health and DNA. Now determine your economic future. Biometric Bondage Series, where we learn how anatomy is being linked to authentication in the AI era. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11-time published author, and today we're pulling back the curtain on a chilling concept that's no longer science fiction, the body credit score. This is the idea that your physical body, your health status, genetic traits, biometric behaviors, and even your likelihood of illness is becoming a metric in your financial profile. Whether you qualify for a loan, a job, or insurance may soon depend on something you can't easily change: your biology. Let's begin with the convergence of two industries, finance and health tech. Until recently, creditworthiness was determined by payment history, debt levels, income, and financial behavior. But today, the model is expanding. Financial institutions are beginning to incorporate non-traditional data points, from your fitness tracker activity and food purchases to your DNA predispositions and biometric health scores. Startups and insurers are already integrating wearable data into underwriting models. For example, some health insurance companies now offer discounted premiums if you meet daily step goals tracked through your Apple Watch or Fitbit. What seems like a reward is, in fact, a behavior-based scoring system, one that conditions access to resources on compliance with biometric expectations. But this is only the entry point. The more invasive version is tied to genomics. Companies like Nucleus Genomics, 23andMe, and Ancestry Health collect vast amounts of genetic data under the guise of self-discovery or disease prevention. But once that information is on file, it becomes a powerful risk indicator, not just for health, but for economic profiling. Imagine applying for a mortgage and being denied because you carry a gene linked to early-onset Alzheimer's or type 2 diabetes. Or consider the possibility of your life insurance premiums doubling because your DNA suggests a higher likelihood of developing cancer. These aren't hypothetical. In some regions, genetic predispositions are already factored into actuarial models, and the push to formalize genetic risk scoring is gaining ground. Now let's add AI into the mix. Algorithms trained on biometric data are being used to create behavioral risk profiles. These profiles incorporate everything from how often you visit the gym to how fast your heart rate returns to normal after stress. AI doesn't just score your financial trustworthiness, it predicts your long-term viability as a customer, a patient, or an employee. The result? Your body becomes a living risk assessment tool. It's not just health or genetics. Facial recognition systems are now being used to infer mood, age, alertness, and even honesty. In China, some lenders use AI-driven facial scans to detect emotional cues during loan applications. Blink too much, and you're flagged. Pause too long? Denied. In these systems, your face is your credit signal. This is part of what's called physiological data fusion, the practice of combining multiple biological inputs to assess risk. Heart rate variability, cortisol levels, pupil dilation, and micro-expressions are being combined into a single output: trust, threat, or liability. And while it's being rolled out under the banner of personalization or optimization, the outcome is a new caste system based on anatomy. Let's walk through how this could play out in the real world. Loan applications. Lenders access your biometric health data, flagging you as high risk due to a genetic marker, regardless of your actual financial history. Employment screening. Employers scan your DNA for predispositions to stress, fatigue, or depression, quietly filtering candidates based on projected productivity. Insurance pricing. You're penalized for not wearing a fitness tracker or for having an elevated resting heart rate, regardless of context or causality. Public services access. Government welfare or housing eligibility tied to biometric compliance, scanned health scores, emotion detection, or sleep pattern tracking. And here's the most dangerous part. This system is being framed as voluntary. You don't have to submit your DNA. You don't have to wear the tracker. But without it, you lose access to discounts, fast-track approvals, or even basic eligibility. Non-compliance becomes exclusion. This is the social credit model in biological form. It's not about punishing bad financial behavior. It's about preemptively sorting people based on how their body performs under pressure. And once that model is automated, there's no appeal. The algorithm doesn't know your story. It only knows your stats. Let's not forget the role of big tech. Companies like Amazon and Google are heavily invested in healthcare platforms, cloud genomics, and biometric tracking. With every Alexa health query or Android sleep log, the line between consumer behavior and health prediction gets thinner. If Amazon knows your resting heart rate, your BMI, and your pharmacy history, and also runs your loan application system, it can effectively create a whole-body credit score. This raises a profound ethical question. Should your biology be used against you? If genetics are destiny, how much should that destiny cost you financially? And if you take good care of your body, should that translate to preferential treatment? Or is that just the beginning of a privatized health caste system? Because make no mistake, this system doesn't just punish sickness. It rewards conformity. It rewards those who eat the right foods, wear the right tech, and live in the right zip codes. And it quietly excludes those who don't, often for reasons beyond their control. And here's what's coming next. Biometric credit scoring is moving toward predictive lending, where loans are approved not based on past behavior, but future potential as forecasted by AI models fed with biological data. This includes digital twin simulations, virtual versions of you that run millions of scenarios to see how you'd age, respond to disease, or perform under stress. These simulations will eventually be used as proxies for your trustworthiness, and you won't even see the process. This isn't about paranoia, it's about planning. If your body becomes your barcode, and your barcode determines your worth, then privacy, fairness, and self-determination are no longer moral ideals. They're logistical obstacles. There are already movements to resist this. Europe's GDPR prohibits the use of biometric data in automated decision-making without explicit consent. But in the US and much of Asia, no such guardrails exist. And as we've seen with past tech adoption cycles, what begins as opt-in becomes default, and what becomes default eventually becomes mandatory. So what can you do? Be aware of the data you're giving away, especially to health apps, DNA testing kits, and wearables. Understand the downstream uses of that data. What's being sold? To whom? Under what terms? Support legislation that enforces transparency, limits biometric profiling, and prohibits genetic discrimination. Because once your DNA becomes your down payment, and your sweat becomes your signature, the very concept of personal agency is on the auction block. This is not about health. It's not about fitness. It's about control through quantification. When your body is a number, your life becomes a spreadsheet. And in that world, only the compliant survive. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones. The replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans. The merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Sos Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.